But every black man worth his salt and want his child to be better than he was. Shit, I had a third grade education, come out the country, picking cotton and shit. They never thought I was gonna be shit. Then your daddy was born. Went off to college and school made me proud as hell. I never told him that, but I'm proud of him. Then he had you, and I'm proud of you too. You ain't so damn smart, way smarter than I've ever been. You hear me? You gonna be all right, son. Better for me. No, nigga, somebody had to pay for that shit. That them motherfucking crackers back there, that's what they think of you. You dry your motherfucking eyes, man. The world is tough. You get in that fight. When you don't feel like fighting, get up and fight some more. Shit, that's what it means to be a black, be a motherfucking nigga. You fight. Every day you fight. You gonna be all right. Shit, we done already did the heavy lifting. Every generation before me did the heavy lifting. All you young niggas got to do is live in it. And look here, you think what white folk do to us is bad? Look at what niggas doing to each other. Shit, killing each other, doing all kind of crazy shit. Ain't trying to help nobody no more. I don't know what the fuck wrong with y'all. I can't stand it. I can't stand what's happening.
I just watched a Tyler Perry scene, and it honestly hit me different. Because again, we all know him as a funny person. But this scene just, I don't know, it hit me different. If you guys don't know, my name is Job Charles. I'm 24. And I come from a immigrant family, right? Like, my parents, they're born in Haiti. My grandparents, Haiti, Dominican Republic. Biggest thing he said in that scene was, you think you have a better life than everybody? Sure, you have a better life than everybody, but people had to pay for that. And I really sat there and thought about what Tyler Perry said, bro. Because, again, I was born in America. I was blessed, you know what I mean? However, we live in a generation where everything, I wouldn't say it's easy to us, right? I wouldn't say everything is just easy to us, because there's definitely hard things about this generation. There's hard things about my parents' generation. There's hard things about our grandparents' generation. And there's hard things about our great-great-parents' generation, right? You know, slavery, Jews, you know, all these different things that happen. And I sat there and I'm like, dang, Tyler Perry's right. You know, like, our parents, our grandparents, they really had to pay something for the next generation to get something, right? Because this entire time, right, like, I had this mindset where, like, don't get me wrong, I knew my parents sacrificed. I knew my grandparents sacrificed. But I didn't realize, like, damn, if they didn't do what they did, I probably would have to do what they were supposed to do. You know? Like, for example, right? Like, back then, you know, there was slavery, one of the worst things to happen. Right? And the whole entire time, that could have been me and my friends. That could have been me and my cousins. That could have been me and my classmates fighting to get some type of right. You know what I mean? Like, people couldn't even read. The stuff that they did to Jews, like, you know what I mean? Like, just terrible, terrible stuff. And that wasn't that long ago. That was like 150 years ago, 100 years ago. So it really made me sit there and think, like, man, like, I hate to say it, but he's right. You know, like, people had to pay for me to be able to drive safely home like this. You know what I mean? Not have to worry about, you know, certain dangers, right? Having the ability to drink clean water, have clean food whenever. Like, someone had to pay something, you know? And then I also had a talk with my uncle, because past week, right, I was with my uncle, my dad, my sisters, and I traveled to St. Martin to go to my grandpa's funeral. Of course, it was some happy times, and of course it was some sad times, because it was for my grandpa's funeral. You know, that was the reason why I traveled out. So I had to miss class, you know, all that. But the whole time, you know, I'm just asking my uncle questions. I'm asking my dad questions about just the family history, about certain things that I really didn't know. And one thing I should really tell you guys, like, if you have the ability to ask your parents, to ask your grandparents, to ask your aunt, your uncle, bro, ask them questions, bro, because knowing more about your family history, it's just good to know because, bro, you never know how something can help you if you're going through something, or even just knowing that information so that you have it and that you take it with you. Because, bro, especially because back then there wasn't video, there wasn't these different things. So the only thing we have is the answers that they give us out of their mouth, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there was really no other way to like track stuff. So it's like, ask those questions, bro, before, you know, because we all leave this earth someday. You know what I mean? So, you know, like what was telling me, like, you know, since he was like 15 years old, him and my dad, they were gambling, they were doing just basically anything to survive. Because my grandpa, he left them when they were like 12 years old, for like better just opportunities when it comes to work and all this type of stuff. And then I guess it was like some situation where he kind of had to leave, because if he didn't, then they would have, like, I guess, killed my uncle and my dad, and just like, you know, other something about him not having his residency either, you know. So like, obviously when you don't have a residency, you can't you can't go to that specific place because you don't have residency. And then obviously he was doing something to protect the family and all this type of stuff. You know, the whole thing was just complicated, bro. I'm sure like you or somebody you know has this a complicated family story that is just like, what the heck, you know. But, you know, he was telling me all these things of just surviving, of just gambling when he was 15, making $80,000 by the time he was like 21, 22, just off of gambling, bro. You know what I mean? And then just hearing those things, hearing how he lost money, hearing how he was on the run because they wanted him, because they were like, because I guess apparently people hated that he was 22 making $80,000 off of strictly gambling. So then other people hated him for what he had and all this type of stuff. And then my dad, he had his back, but other people didn't have their backs. So then they had to, like, you know, lay low. My uncle, I guess he was kind of on the run because he was supposed to get like arrested and stuff like that. And then him pretty much saying, you know what, I'm gonna get out of this gambling stuff. And my uncle decided, yo, I'm gonna take this money, I'm gonna come to America, right? I'm gonna come to America and just, you know, stay, have a clean slate. And then because he did that, my dad then got the inspiration to move to America. And then my whole family came to America, right? So then as my uncle's telling me this, I'm like, damn, bro, like, so you're the reason why I'm not in Haiti right now? I'm not, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, like in a way, like high key, you know what I mean? Like, if he did not come to America, I'd probably be in Haiti right now. Who knows where I'd be? I'd probably be dead. I'd probably, you know what I mean? Like, who even knows, bro? And it's always like, you know, because you never know, bro. That one decision, that one tiny decision that your family just made to make that sacrifice, you never know, bro. You know what I mean? That could be the reason why you're where you are right now. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I wasn't born yet. I didn't know I was going to be born. They didn't know I was going to be born during that time. You know what I mean? So, like, my sisters, they know they were going to be born at that time. My cousins, who were the same age as me, they didn't know that they were going to be born during that time period, right? So it's like, you know, it's all these things, right? And it goes back to the Tyler Perry scene. It's like, bro, there's people that had to do some crazy stuff to probably get to where you are, bro. That 100K salary job that you're at, you know, your people, your grandparents, they probably had to work $4 an hour just for you to have that business that you have. Me being able to hold the camera right now and talk to y'all, bro, like, who knows, bro? I'd probably be in Haiti and I probably can't even afford this stuff because the pay just isn't good. There's no opportunities, you know what I mean? Like, just certain stuff, like, so again, I'm not saying this to say that, oh, that it's your fault, that, you know, because at the end of the day, we all have our stories. We all have our things that we went through, our mistakes, our the things that we didn't do, you know, all this type of stuff. You know, if I have kids one day, same thing with me. The things that I went through don't have anything to do with my kids. You know, that's my story, that's my life. You know, that's how I see it. But in a way, again, we all think, oh, my life is better than my parents. I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to sell drugs. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do that. But at the same time, bro, you really gotta like realize people did certain things. People paid for you to be in that seat at the end of the day. Because somebody was gonna go through it, whether you like it or not. Somebody was gonna go through slavery. Somebody was gonna go through having a what's it called? Like, you know, back then where like back then in medieval times, bro, like you hear crazy stories of like people literally having to perform in front of like, you know, kings and stuff like that. And if they didn't perform well, bro, you're getting executed. You're getting killed. You know what I mean? Like, everyone had to go through something just so that the next generation didn't have to. So think of it like that, bro. Yo, that train is so loud. Oh my goodness. But we're still doing this video. But yeah, guys, like, just think of that, bro. Think like that, you know? Like, think, damn, my parents really went through a lot. My grandparents really went through a lot. And I hated that they went through that, you know? I really hated it. And then my uncle looked me dead in my eye and said, bro, so don't do the same thing. Don't make the same mistakes. You saw us go through it. Do better. Right now, guys, I'm doing Uber on the side, you know? I'm doing this while doing Uber on the side. And my dad told me straight up, I remember I picked him up to take him to Wawa. If you guys don't know what Wawa is, it's basically a gas station where you can get coffee, all that type of stuff, put gas, you know, all that. And I took my dad there, and he literally got in the car where I'm at right now. He didn't even put on his seatbelt or nothing. He said, I see you doing this Uber thing on the side, but don't get comfortable with this. Because my dad did taxi all his life, and he said, don't get comfortable with this. I see you doing it on the side, that's fine, but don't get comfortable with this. You were born in America. I know it's hard right now. I know times it's tough, you know, but figure some stuff out, man. Get those opportunities, man. Get a career. I don't want you doing this all your life. Because he done taxi all his life, and he told me, like, from his experience, people be rude, people be disrespectful, and I don't want you to go through that. No, you were born in America, you know, the land of opportunity. And I get what he's saying, bro. I really do. Because if you don't make it in America, bro, you're not making it nowhere. You know? When I went to St. Martin this weekend, like, it really humbled me, like, damn. Like, let me stop complaining a little bit. I know the job market and all these things, it's tough. You know, it's real tough. But, damn, like, you know, people in St. Martin and people in all these different countries, like, they really don't have anything, bro. You know what I mean? They don't have much, you know? What, maybe they're making 500 pesos a month, or however the currency is, euros a month, which really is not that much money. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, guys, that was the video for today, man. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Peace.